but I'm not hating him right now. He didn't really prove a point, okay? He said that the only reason that this dog, who was already dying, would make a big deal all over the world is because, it was the center of attention in an art gallery. Like, there's dogs in the street, and they're taken care of by shelters. The shelter goes, they get them, they bring the dogs in, and they try and do it as hard as they can, as best as they can, and put the dogs up for adoption.
Con mascota, debes hacerte responsable, enseñarle a convivir con tu familia y no botarlo porque ya te aburrió. Si quieres que sea tu amigo, debes tratarlo como tal. Aunque fue de todos, nunca tuvo un dueño que condicionara su razón de ser. Libre como el viento era nuestro perro.
People don't just leave them in the street, okay? They call people. They go and they call people so that they can get the animal and bring it to a shelter. I mean, some places are different than others. I was in Puerto Rico before, and there are dogs everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And people didn't seem to care. I mean, people wouldn't throw rocks at the dogs, and the dogs weren't starving. People would feed the dogs. And it's just, his point that he was trying to prove is idiotic. I mean, my dog. I mean, if I was to prove a point by people were evil by strapping someone down to a bed and then burning their house down with them still inside, yeah, that's proving a point, but everyone already knows that. Everyone already knows people can be bad. People know that there are dogs in the streets that starve to death sometimes.
Everybody thought it was so great that he was invited to do it again. And that's why artists are crazy, and you shouldn't trust them, because they do really, bad things. And, granted, I don't care about animals. I don't care about animals at all, but that's screwed up. What if somebody tied a human to a rope inside of a gallery and called it art, and they died, and they didn't, go to jail because it was art? That's bull. Just saying.
Art is part of what humans are. But when human beings allow this bullshit, abstract, ridiculous fucking ideas of art exist, this is what occurs. Anytime for the people that said, oh, well, when you made that one thing and I accepted that as art, you should take a couple minutes and step back and look, is it really art? Or is it just bullshit? Everything isn't fucking art. Just because you throw a cat in an oven, don't make it a biscuit. I love that saying because it's just everything. You can just categorize, you can put so much stuff into that. Just because you throw a cat in an oven, don't make it a biscuit. And that's the fucking point. And most of you fucking ass clowns will still look at that and try and find some reason why it's art. It's not art. It's fucking animal abuse. And the only reason why I can get away with it is because there's assholes like you that look at it and try and find a reason why it's art. He's just a fucking unfeeling, uncaring son of a bitch that only cares about one person. That's numero uno. And, personally, if he lived close to me and I found out about it, Anyways, truth fucking first.
I'm just, God, if you're gonna have such an opinion on something, you might want to look into it a bit more. I'm not saying that this was the right way to go about things, but the dog died in one day. You don't starve to death in one day. You don't starve in one day. End of story. So obviously he didn't kill him. And what the artist says is that no one tried to free it. No one tried to feed it. it's not like anyone was helping, and just because now that it's died, everyone's making this big fuss. And don't get me wrong, I am all for animal rights, especially as of late. I saw this movie that just disgusted me, and it just made me really sad. But like, this is not about animal rights. The artist is trying to raise people's awareness of starving dogs and starving humans alike, starving anything, and how humans, or just we, all have the capability to ignore that. And that's what he's trying to say, or that's what he says he's trying to say. And even if he doesn't, so many people have noticed this now, that it is becoming an issue. And all these people are commenting on the photo, like on the photos in this Facebook group. Oh, that's so disgusting. Like that's so cruel. How can this happen? But no one's really, like, I too saw it and I was like, that's sick. Like I'll definitely sign the petition. And then I read into it, and it's just a lot less. It's not cruelty for the sake of cruelty, I guess. I mean, you really need to look into it for yourself, because I'm not saying one way or the other it's right, but I don't think a lot of these people know what they're saying, and it's just really bugging me. If it had died on the street, no one would have cared or noticed, and now he's brought it to attention, so I think he made his point. I just, like, it's a really good point, and people need to think about it a bit more before jumping to conclusions. Look before you... No, that doesn't really work. Anyway, I just wanted to rant about that, and I encourage you all to go look it up, read about it, and decide for yourself. And don't... I mean, it sounds... Yeah, it does sound awful when you say this guy is starving a dog for art, but that's not... It died in a day. He's just trying to raise awareness, and I think, although it was a little weird, it worked. And so yeah, I'm sorry, this was kind of angry. I'm not angry at you guys.
Know what he did, but you idiot kid, you don't have a clue.
Anyhow, so now that I can leave the video on a positive note, I'll see you guys later.